Hey, what's going on, people? I got a question to ask, and I want to keep this really, really quick, all right? My question to you is: was CV19 created for the V, or was the V created for CV19? Think about that for a moment, all right? With everything that's going on in the world today, you should already know the answer to this question. If you're still thinking that the V was created for CV19, I don't know what more to say to you. I mean, come on now. You have the world leaders now that are mandating the V, right? Mandating the V. Remember, there's a 99.9, 99.7% rate of survival, right? Depending on your age group. 99%. Let's just put it at 99% even, okay? Survival if you happen to contract CV19. So my question is, why are these governments mandating, telling you you must have the V? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't do nothing without getting the V, even though the survival rate is 99%. We need you to take the V, right? Ask yourself the question, why, right? Y'all thought it was about CV19, and a lot of y'all still think it's about CV19, when in fact, it's never been about CV19. CV19 was used to bring in the V. That's all it was. Now, I'm not saying that CV19 doesn't exist, it exists, but it's nowhere near as bad as the media, our health officials, and of course, Dr. Fauci are saying, right? In the end, it was always about the V. And forcing you to take the V means that it was always about what? Control and compliance. They got all of us to jump last year when they said, hey, people, we're going to shut the world down. And what did we say? Okay, all right. And we went along with it. And that's when they knew, okay, well, if we're able to do this, we can do anything else. Now, what's the next plan? We shut it down. We brought in the CV19. Okay, now we got to bring about the V. And once we bring about the V, boom, we force it on everybody. Because remember, they kept saying, and it's on record, Biden and Kamala and many others have said, this is from the American point of view, that they've said, hey, no, we can't force this on people. No, we're not going to mandate on people. Then all of a sudden, boom. Yes, it's mandated, right? Mandated. Wearing masks, mandated in many situations, right? Here's the thing, y'all know that masks aren't good for you, right? People want to argue that all they want. By all means, go ahead and argue it. They want to use the, well, surgeons and doctors use it, so, get out of here, man. We're talking about little kids now, people. All right. That being said, in certain states, they're looking into putting together a legislation that will make parents, all right, domestic terrorists, classify them as domestic terrorists. Those parents that have gone to those board meetings, those meetings, coming together and basically stating their case as to why they don't want their children to wear the masks or take the V. Right. Yes, in some situations, they have gotten heated, of course, but the government now looks at that and says, well, you know what? I think we should deem these people domestic terrorists. Domestic terrorists. Like Timothy McVeigh and the Oklahoma City building, that bombing. Yeah, like him. They're putting these parents that care about their children on the same level as Timothy McVeigh. Now you got to ask yourself, does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense at all. But I will tell you this. This plan has been orchestrated for decades, if not centuries. All right. They just have to find a way to put it all together and find out, okay, well, what can we use? What can we do? All right. To get the population to go a certain way. And then eventually down the road, whether you believe it or not, eventually down the road, bring in a totalitarian regime. Right. I'm going to leave you with this: borderless. I'm just going to leave you to that. Borderless. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to expand on it. Think about it. And just remember the term borderless. That's all you got to remember. Now, back to this whole CV19 and V thing. Here's the thing, people. I'm going to say something that might not be popular for some, but may so be for a lot of other people. All right. I'm going to talk about your boy Donald Trump. Okay? Yeah, that's right. Donald Trump. Now, Trump was in power for 4 years, and within those 4 years, the left tried everything in their power to try and demonize this man, all right, to try and take him out. And nothing stuck, all right? Nothing. But here's the thing, and you all got to think about this, okay? Because all of that stuff might have thrown you off, but you got to think about this. Common sense now. Let's take that in now, okay? So CV19 comes in, okay? So we have a whole year, 1 year, in which to put this V together. And who is the V being manufactured under? Well, whose presidency? Trump's presidency, right? Trump's presidency. Okay. Now, during this whole time, all of 2019, okay, or yeah, no, sorry, all of 2020, right? Forgive me. All of 2020, you have all sorts of people saying, no, we ain't going to take it. No, we're not going to touch it. No, it's too soon to come out with something like that and put it into people. Not enough time was put into research and this, that, and the other. And this is coming from the leftists, right? This is coming from your boy Biden. This is coming from your girl Kamala, and coming from so many other people, right? Even some people on the right were saying the same thing, right? Here's the thing. Once Trump was out of power and Biden and Harris came in, they were talking about getting the V going, right? Fauci said, all right, people, let's release it to the people, right? Here we go. So the V is out there now. Remember, this is the same V that was under Trump, under Operation Warp Speed, okay, that those people didn't want to touch, okay, and they were doubting it. And now they're pushing that same V on you, the same one on you, right? So the question is, what changed their minds? Don't tell me the science changed their minds. Don't tell me they sat down with their advisors and their advisors told them, well, hey, you know what, Biden, this is good. Let's push it forward. Because that can't be true, because look at what Biden did in Afghanistan. He didn't listen to his advisors even in that situation. And look at the whole situation. Sure, they're not talking about Afghanistan anymore, but that's because the media has gone on to another news cycle. So that expression, out of sight, out of mind, that's exactly how they play the public, right? Once we take it out of the camera, once we take it out of sight, we're no longer talking about it. No one's saying anything about it. No one's putting it into print. Boom, the public forgets about it and they move on to the next news story, right? And the news story that came after that was what? What was the news story that came after that? That girl and that dude, okay? That girl that died. They found her body. I can't remember her last name or whatever, right? But nonetheless, now they're looking for the dude, right? They put that story in front of y'all, okay, to take you away, to distract you from reality, to distract you from what was really going on behind the scenes. I'm not saying that this girl's death is not reality, because it's really sad what happened. Okay, and hopefully they find this guy. If they haven't found him yet, hopefully they find this dude. Yeah. So the whole thing is that they removed Afghanistan out of your minds, and they put that story in front of y'all, and they made it a massive issue. Right? Now we're still moving on with the V. Okay, the V's always been in the background, but now they push the V back out into the fore. It's right in front of you now still. Go ahead and watch your news programs tonight. You'll see they're still talking about the V. Of course they are, but they're pushing it in such a way now. It's really about the mandate. Okay? I don't know if y'all know this, but Pfizer just came out the other day admitting that their V only lasts up to 6 months. Up to 6 months. Right? What do you do after that? You bring in the booster. What's the booster for? All of this is a money grab. But none of y'all were thinking about this, right? Y'all just went with the narrative and went with whatever the government and Fauci said, right? Nah. It's all a money grab. That's all it is. First, what they do is put that thing into your body and they destroy your body, right? Because you really don't know what's in that vaccine. You need to find out what's in that vaccine, right? You really, really need to know, especially Christians. Y'all really, really, truly need to know what's in that vaccine. So that vaccine now, okay, or the V, man, I might get banned for that because I used a full word. The V now, okay, I'm just going to leave it there. At risk of getting this video taken down, I'm just going to leave it there. But I'll put it to you this way. You know what? At the end of the day, it is factual. Pfizer did come out and say that the V only lasts up to 6 months. So for those of you that got it, let's say 7 months ago, it's no longer in your system, right? Which potentially could mean that you're no longer protected from the CV19, right? I don't know. You got to look into yourself. But if that is the case and you're not protected anymore, then that means you would run into or fall into the unvaxxed class. Unknowingly, of course, because you still think that you are V'd when in fact you're not because the protection is gone, right? But, anyways, getting back to this whole Trump thing, all right. Now, if you really look at it, I really think that Trump played a big role in this and he continues to play a big role in this, right? I think that Trump's story is not done. And if Trump is elected in 2024, reelected in 2024, I assure you of this, it will startle many people. Really, many people. And I'm hoping that people will start to see that this dude might not be your hero. He might not be the guy that, you know, people are putting up on a pedestal and worshiping and going crazy over. I think that if he does get reelected in 2024, there's a plan in place and he's always been part of the plan. And the world is going to see something that they've never witnessed ever. And it's not going to be good. And I will leave you with this. If you really want to know what I'm talking about, understand that there's going to be a treaty put in place. Eventually, there will be a treaty between Israel and its neighbors. Okay, and that treaty is going to be set in place for a 7-year period. Once that 7-year period is broken up, or not even, the treaty will come to an end within 3.5 years because there's going to be something will happen to the man that orchestrated it. And the man that orchestrated it, of course, is the son of perdition, the lawless one, the Antichrist. Okay? So the key thing to remember here is that there is an agreement that will be put in place. Okay? I can tell you this, that there's a man on this planet right now that's always been keen to having some sort of agreement in place between Israel and its surrounding neighbors. That man is none other than Donald Trump. I'm not saying that the man is the Antichrist or what have you, but I'm saying there's something there. There really is something there, right? Look into it, people. See what it is, whatever you come up with. Leave your comments below. Make a video on it, whatever the case may be. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all continue to have a blessed day. Take care.